Hello, beautiful people. Welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome back. If you are a returning supporter, I want to say thank you to all of the channel members. I hope that you are enjoying the benefits of being a member of this channel. I want to say thank you to Journey with Kiki, Kimberly Davis, Happy 1178, and Lovely Samira. Thank you again for all of your love and support. Up next, we have the disclaimers, and I will be right back. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome back. If you are a returning supporter, I'm here to give you the disclaimers for this here live. Listen, I do not tolerate disrespect. That's in any way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it's towards me, towards anyone that appears on the screen, towards anyone that appears in the chat. If you have not decided to be a better person, most people will tell you to leave, but I'm going to tell you to stick around because maybe something that is said today will encourage you to do so. Now, I am not a mental health professional. I am just one woman willing to share my personal experiences to let you know two things. One, you are not alone, regardless of how much you feel like you are alone, how many times you have felt that, you are not alone. And number two, you can overcome anything that life throws at you. There will be curse words, there will possibly be tears, but knowing me, it probably will be. And my opinions are my opinions. Your opinions are your opinions. We are here to have a nurturing conversations in regards to our opinions so that we will have a better understanding of each other. That's all I got for right now. I hope that you enjoy this nurturing conversation. Let's get to it. Wait. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button that helps me say suggested on YouTube. Make sure that you type in the chat, also leave a comment, and share it with your friends. That's all I got. Let's get into this conversation. I love you. Peace. Hello, beautiful people. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Again, if this is your first time here, welcome back. If you are a returning supporter, I am Chelle. I am Aisha, also known as Chelle, and this is the Nurturing Conversations podcast. I'm sorry, my eyes have been watering all day. They've been burning and watering all day. So I will be doing this quite often. I don't know why they've been doing that. Maybe I just needed to cry or something. I don't know. But okay, today's nurturing conversation, we're going to talk about unrealistic expectations. And a lot of these topics that I talk about on the Nurturing Conversation podcast are things that I have personally experienced or things that I have personally overcome. And I feel like if I share them with somebody, maybe it'll encourage you to find the strength to overcome, let you know that you can overcome, and just be a great testament to life and all that life brings us. So, when I was thinking about unrealistic expectations, if you don't know, I am currently on a journey of healing and self discovery. This is year number 3. It has been one of the greatest decisions outside of therapy that I've made in the longest time. Um, I realized that I have placed a lot of unrealistic expectations, and unrealistic expectations have stopped me from accomplishing a lot of things that I wanted to do in life. Um, Many of those unrealistic expectations, I'm gonna keep saying that because that's tonight's topic. Many of those expectations came as a direct result of of things that I experienced, of things that I was told, of the environment in which I grew up in. There were a lot of things that caused me to look at life in a different view. And as I began to, travel the road of healing and self discovery, I had to come to grips. Hello, MLW fisherman. I had to come to grips with my expectations. Many of you know if you've been here before. I had to come to grips with the expectations that my parents weren't your average American, average parents. Periods. I'm doing this because most people um, say average, but my parents weren't regular parents. My childhood wasn't regular. When you think of your mother and father, you probably think like, yeah, they're going to buy me everything I want. They're going to give me, they're going to protect me. They're going to do all of these different things. And so my expectations for them, for me, was unrealistic. I'm saying that now as a 42-year-old woman. And that's because I had so many expectations of what, you hear like your mother is supposed to make sure you have all of like everything. You're supposed to buy you anything. And it was really bad. It was really bad because I was the only girl. And so everybody around me thought that I was just like the spoiled one. Like I just got special treatment because I was the only girl, when in reality, it was not like that at all. Um, it was the guys that got special treatment, and I feel like I got pushed into being stronger, being more. I don't know what the word I'm looking for here, but I got pushed into being more independent. That's what I'll say. I got pushed into being more independent. And so, being pushed into being independent, my expectations of life, my expectations of people, situations were definitely different. I um, I was sharing with someone. I got interviewed on another person's podcast, and they were asking me about my life or whatever. And I was sharing with them how I went to predominantly white schools, right? So I'll leave with my unrealistic expectation. I feel that as human beings, we all have this thing on the inside of us. Like, yeah, there's people out here who hate people because of their race or all of that, right? But I really feel at the core, like we all just have love. We just need to tap into it, right? So when I was in high school, I went to predominantly white schools. I grew up in the hood. I grew up surrounded by African American people. That's where I grew up. So to when I first went to predominantly white high school, it was a complete culture shock for me. I went there like, I'm gonna do good. I'm gonna have the opportunity to show and prove. And then when I got there, it was just what I did not expect. It was firsthand experience in racism. It was met with I not feeling good enough to be at the school. Um, it was ooh, I should have. I think I said in my disclaimers there will be tears. Um, it was just a lot. It caused me to look at myself. Like I am very confident in myself. But being in a predominantly white environment, it definitely changed the way that I look at myself. It changed the way that I look at my life. It changed the way that I looked at life, period, because I definitely was able to notice the difference in in education, in the school offerings, in the school lunch. I mean, it was like totally different. And then I think the biggest expectation was that they were going to accept me for who I was. And I say that because, I was like, I'm going to be here, I'm going to go to class, and the teacher's going to, there's not going to be favoritism. It's just going to be a regular class. But boy, was I mistaken. So that was like my first real like experience with racism. Other than that, I was in the hood. We wasn't really, not saying at the hood, but you know what I'm saying, if you know what I'm saying. But that was my first experience with um, racism. And I just thought like, it's a one-off. Like, okay, yeah, that happened, but it's not going to happen for the rest of my life. Because in my mind, I think everybody has love. I really feel like everybody has love on the inside of them. They just really need to tap into it, or they need to heal, and then the love will show through them. So as I, completed high school, and then I went to college, and college was another form of shock for me because I had got adjusted to being in a predominantly white setting in high school, and then I went to college, and the town in which I went to college, I was one of 20 I want to say 20. I keep putting 25 because I want to make it sound like it was really a lot, but it really wasn't a lot. So we integrated um, the town in which I went to school. And that sounds so weird to say because this is 1999. And so I'm talking on this podcast, and then after the podcast, like I became overwhelmed because it was like I unlocked all of my experiences there. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to college, and I'm gonna major in music, and I'm gonna sing, and I'm gonna do. I had all of these hopes, dreams, and aspirations. I really wanted to go to medical school so that I could be a pediatrician, and then that was an unrealistic expectation because I got sick, and then being sick as a young person or as a teenager, it definitely changed how I looked at life. I think it was more so me being able to see my mother as I'm sick and they're telling her what's going on with me, and then just the sheer look of terror in her face. And then that kind of like changed my. I don't think I could go to. I don't think I could go to medical school. I don't think I could be a pediatrician because I could not. Like I, I used to say like I would be the doctor that's in there crying. I know you got to sign Hippocratic oath, all of those. I know you got to do all of those things, but I would personally be the doctor in there like I'm so sorry to tell you this. Like I would be bawling. Like I would have to have a nurse or somebody tell them because I couldn't tell them that their child is sick. Like I couldn't. I just couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. And as I began to grow, it's like, you know what? Let me figure out what it is that I really want to do in life. And I really want to help. I want to be a light. I want to share love. And I want to pump this world filled with positivity. That's what I want to do. And that's what I've been doing for the last 3 years. And I've been having the best time in doing so. But one of my in doing that, one of my unrealistic unrealistic expectation is that people will receive positivity well. Um, as I've been going on this journey, and I'm juicing, I'm sharing positive affirmations, I'm sharing positive quotes, I'm just speaking, like being positive, encouraging, loving, supportive. And sometimes that is met with, why are you doing that? What is your ulterior motive? Or why is this happening? And for me, it's just like, I just want to help. I just want to love you. I just want to let you know that I'm here to support you. But then I start to understand that many people don't come from an environment where there is love and there is support and there is positivity. So it's hard to receive that if you have never been exposed to that in your life. Um, I had the unrealistic expectation that I would be doing a lot of YouTube videos. Yeah, I had planned. My plan was to do a lot of YouTube videos. And then as I began to watch my old videos and just watch previous things that I had released on the channel, I was trying to find what I felt comfortable in doing. I felt like because I was going on a journey of healing and self-discovery, I was bringing you guys along on that. And then it was like I have grown from when I first started the journey until now, and I don't want to do anything that doesn't feel right to me. And I feel like these nurturing conversations definitely feel right to me because I feel like we as people need to talk about more things. And karaoke feels right, juicing and workouts feel right, and I just got to find that other piece of content that feel right. And I'm not like rushing into figuring that out. I'm just, you know, seeing what works and what doesn't work. Um, another un another unrealistic expectation is that I have for myself is um, anytime there was something that I wanted to do that was unfamiliar with me, I would hype myself. I would hype myself up to do it, and then previous to now, I would hype myself up to do it, and then when it came time to do it, like I would chicken out of it. I would be so hype. I would be so like, yes, I could do it. I'm able, like I would have all of that. And then in the end, fear would always get the best of me. So when I crossed over into 2023, well, actually, it was after I had a major surgery. I was like, I'm going to do everything I ever wanted to do in life. I don't care how afraid I'm going to do it. So I said, I'm going to operate in fear. And people was like, what do you mean you shouldn't do it if you're afraid? I was like, no, I have to do it because if I don't do it while I'm afraid, fear will continue to win. So this year I embarked on a lot of different things. It's only March, but I've embarked on a lot of different projects, and operating in fear has definitely helped me uh, put push past it. Operating in fear helped me to push past the fear, and now I'm in a place where I could reflect on a time where I wouldn't have done or I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. A great example of that is this podcast. Before I actually put the name of Nurturing Conversation, I was concerned that, why would people listen to me? Why would people listen to me? Why would they tune in? Am I that funny or am I that entertaining or am I even saying anything that will connect with people? Like these are the thoughts and things that were going through my head. And then my expectation became if I can just reach one person. That was my expectations, just one. Before I was like, yeah, everybody gonna love it because I'm talking about positive stuff and I'm sharing steps on how you could change your life and you can heal and definitely go to therapy. And I'm like, everybody gonna love it. And then as I, ventured out, it was like some people are comfortable where they are. Some people are comfortable um, walking through life numb. Some people are comfortable on a hamster wheel. Some people are just comfortable with where their life is right now. And for me, I won't be comfortable. I won't be comfortable until I can see generations of my family healed, until I can see generation of my family living to their truest potential. And until that happens, I won't get comfortable. I mean, I really feel like I have so many things that I want to do. Um, and, when you're sitting and you're making like January comes and it's like New Year's resolutions or vision boards, or you have this manifestation of things that you want to do, and then you do them with the expectations that they will happen, right? And then something happens in your life and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do that, or I don't know if I can do that, or I don't have the finances to do it. It's always something that keeps us from being or obtaining those things. And for me, it was fear. Fear was my unrealistic expectation. And it's so wild because I would say that I want to do these things and then I'd be presented with the opportunity. And here recently, um, before if I get presented with an opportunity, I would like, ooh, I need to, ooh, my, it was like a little, hesitation there. But now it's like, no, I'm going to do this. I said I wanted to do it, got it on my wall, my vision, got it on my vision board. This is what I want to do. And so I was presented with the opportunity. And then, it's like, can I really do this? Like, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with asking yourself those questions because sometimes we need to ask ourselves these questions, right? Like, do I really want to be a millionaire? Because most people be feeling like, once I get rich, all of my problems that I have right now is going to be good. But they don't realize that when you get more money, it becomes more problems because now you got those people that bought you a sandwich when you was 12 and, they want to make sure that, they got the interest from 12 and you like 30 now. You got everyone who thinking that you're supposed to take care of them. You're supposed to just give them money. You got the IRS, you got the government, there's so many things that come with being a millionaire, but everyone just looks at the glitz and glamour and, oh, I can take care of my bills. Yeah, people be like, money can't buy happiness. And people actually be like, money can buy happiness because if all you want in life is to be able to take care of your family, you will be happy with money. Me, I don't, I would love to have a lot of money. I would. I'm not going to act like I wouldn't. I would love to have a lot of money. And I would definitely love to like reinvest into other small businesses. I would definitely like to set up scholarships for people that are going to school. It's so many different things that I would love to do. Of course, I would travel, and of course, I would like make sure I'm good and my family good. But there's so many other things that I would love to do. Like I don't want to just be rich, just so I can be like, yeah, I'm rich. I want to be rich so I can like. I don't want to be. I want to have a lot of money. That's what I'm going to say. I would like to have enough money where I could just be a blessing to other people. That's what I want to do. I want to help other businesses. I want to help musicians. I just want to help. Like, I really feel like my ultimate goal in life is to be a helper. Help people figure out their business, help people figure out, even help people figure out their YouTube. Now, one of my realistic expectations that I real life am like um overcoming or still figuring out is the one where it's like you automatically believe that you're going to fail. And so I would tell myself, how could I fail if I haven't even tried yet? Like, how am I already preparing to fail if I've never even tried? It's like having those conversations with yourself, right? Sorry, I feel like my lip split. It's like having those conversations with yourself, right? It's like you want to start a YouTube channel. We all sick with YouTube. You want to start a YouTube channel, but it's like, oh, I don't have the lights, or I don't have the camera, or I don't have a topic, or I'm not as funny as that person, or I don't eat those kind of foods. And you're giving yourself all of those reasons as to why you can't start a YouTube instead of saying, you know what, I have this phone, I can prop it up on a book or prop it up on you got a tripod, prop it up, and just hit record. Hi, Trish. Just hit record. What am I going to talk about? First, I'm going to introduce myself and tell people what they're going to see on the channel. And then call it an introduction, ask people to follow me, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and boom, you done already completed your first video. Just that simple. I know people like to say it's easier said than done, but here's my process with that, right? For me, when I think of something, when I say I am going to score a documentary, right? The moment I say that, I'm going to figure out how I can, the next moment, I'm going to be figuring out how I can score a documentary, what I need to do, who I need to talk to, what I need in order to be able to complete that. That's what I'm going to do. Like, it's people be like, oh, it's easier said than done to walk away from something that you love. Um, I want to say that if the something that you love is causing you more harm than it is good, it should be it should be nothing for you to think of yourself than the situation that is going on. But as I was talking to someone this week, I realized that it is not we are not taught to care for ourselves. You know, that probably sounds weird, but it's like we're not literally taught to care for ourselves. We've always been taught to care for other people, care about other people's thoughts, feelings, um, care about other people's opinions. When in reality, the most important opinion is yours. The greatest love of all. I don't know if y'all heard Whitney sing that, but the greatest love of all, in my opinion, is the love that you have for yourself. Here, I'll tell you why it's the greatest love of all. The love that you have for yourself will allow you to look after yourself. It'll allow you to keep yourself protected. It'll allow you to raise your self-esteem, your confidence. It'll allow you to accomplish the things that your wildest dream. It'll allow you to accomplish that because you have belief, faith, and trust in yourself. And then when you fully love yourself, it's nothing for you to love someone else. It's nothing for you to give of yourself to someone else. And when I say give of yourself, I mean like sharing resources, thoughts, experiences with someone else. Sometimes we experience things in life and we just keep it to ourselves. Like we feel We feel like we're the only person that's going through it, or we just don't want anybody to find out because we're going to feel embarrassed or we're going to feel ashamed. And for me, I feel like that's what keeps a lot of people stagnated because they're afraid of what someone else thinks about them. I was telling somebody, I said, um, in my life, I decided to share the experiences that I went through because I wanted people to know, like, you're not alone. You might feel like you are the only one that have ever in life experienced that, but you're not. You're not alone. There's other people um, who have experienced things that you have. It's just they're not going to talk about it. They will never. They will. It's in the back of their mind, hidden behind a vault. No one will ever get to it. And for me, I feel like I had this thought, and I was like, if I feel like this, I wonder how many other people feel like this. I wonder how many other people feel like um, their parents failed them. When I was growing up, I definitely was like, yeah, my parents failed me. They completely failed me. But then when I went to therapy, as I began to go to therapy and as I began to understand the human experience and understand my parents, it was like, no, they did the best that they could and they set me up for greatness. My parents set me up for greatness. It's like I was thinking, like, when you're younger, you like, and you're like 16, 17, and you're like, oh, I can't wait till I get grown so I can get out and I'm gonna get my own house. I'm gonna have my own family. That's one thing that I be hearing that I have heard a lot in my life is people wanting their own family. And it's like, oh, I'm gonna make my own family. Um, and then they grow up and then they make their own family. They make their own family and it's not what they thought it was going to be. People have expectations of like, yeah, I'm going to get this job, I'm going to be rich. And then they get the job and then they realize like it's a dead end job and they're going to keep working the job because it's like I have no other source of income. I don't have any other skills and talents. So let me just stay here. And I feel like a lot of times we get comfortable. I've been at this job for 5, 7 years, but I want to start my own business. I want to like become an entrepreneur. I want to like become a part. I want to be a streamer. I want to be an influencer, a social media influencer. I want to do that, but who's going to listen to me? Why would they listen to me? These are questions that I was asking myself. Who's going to listen to me? Why would they listen to me? Will people really tune in to hear what I got to say? And then the more I talked, the more I was just like, you know what? I got to push past fear. I really had a fear. You probably can't tell, but I really had a fear of talking, especially about myself, talking about anything that I'm doing. And I realized this while I was on the podcast and I was talking to the guy and I was like, I never really talk about the things that I accomplished in life. And I feel like that was because of my environment. I wasn't, like, I'm not like, yeah, I made history 2 times in 1 year. I probably said it maybe 3, 4, 6 times since it happened. But other than that, I don't really be talking about that. Like, they're like, tell us about your business. And I'm telling them about my business. And as I'm talking about my business, I was like, oh my God, I done won 2 awards. I'm all of these different things. And I was like, I've become so, um, insert word here to celebrating that I just didn't celebrate. And I promised myself in 2023 that I'm going to celebrate everything. Everything. If I tie my shoes correctly, I'm going to celebrate that. I feel like we need to do a lot more celebrating. And I'm saying this for me. I think you should do a lot of more celebrating. We are still alive. It is a global fucking pandemic. We're still alive. That's something to celebrate. I'm celebrating coming up. It'll be a year since my major surgery, and I'm sort of kind of getting back to normal, sort of. Of course, my life has definitely changed, but um, I'm getting back to working out, so that's pretty cool. Um, I definitely I definitely put a expectation of myself, an unrealistic expectation. Because well, they told me from 6 to 8 months, um, I would be able to be back to normal. That's basically what they said. I think they should have. I think they should have a clause that's like, typically 6 to 8 months, or um, results may vary. If they said that when you go to the doctor, and they always be like, oh, 6 to 8 months, you'll be better. Um, hi, hi, Sasha, how are you? If the doctors is like 6 to 8 months, results may vary. In 6 to 8 months, you could possibly, if they said those things, be back to normal. I think I would be okay. But they was like 6 to 8 months, and then after the 6 month, I was like, okay, I'm not. I'm trying to work out. I even went live and worked out, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get back to it because I got to be working out. Stomach wasn't healed. Nothing was healed. I was just like, yeah, I got to do it. And then I got sad about the 7th month and the 8th month. I was just like, oh my God, I don't even know if I'm going to ever be able to work out again. And then with juicing, so I developed, let me tell you, I'm just telling you guys all of this. So I started the juice, right? I was doing like complete juice for the last couple of weeks until last week. And developed a little I developed a little fear. See, fear is like that's my fear. I developed a little fear, right? Because I was drinking juices, and I was like, I don't even know what caused this mass to be on the inside of me. So maybe it was drinking juice all the time. So I was trying to do like full juice, and then my mind just kept saying, "But what if the juice is what?" And I was like, "No, I'm not gonna be stopped. Fear will not stop me in 2023." So I went and got some more juice. I got new juice recipes. I'm drinking juice. I'm drinking juice. I'm like, you know what? It's so easy to fall back into fear. Like, it's so easy. Like, it's easy to be like, okay, I'm not gonna do that because I don't feel like I can do it, or I'm not gonna do it. Like, knowing the whole time that you can, knowing the whole time, like, I realized that the thing about juicing for me is not it's not the juice, because I could drink juice all the time. It wasn't the juice, it was the discipline. It was a discipline of getting up in the morning, cutting the juice, putting it in the juicer, cleaning it out, all the stuff, putting it in the refrigerator. And then, like, it's the discipline. It was the discipline for me. And then when I realized discipline, I was like, wait a minute, why do I have a little when it comes to discipline? And I thought, I never got disciplined. I'm laughing, but it's not funny. But I never received discipline when I was growing. I wasn't disciplined. I was like, whatever I wanted to do, like, no one was like, no, you can't do it. Like, I rule life, pretty much did everything I wanted to do. And so when I started thinking about discipline, it's like, who's going to, like, I'm supposed to do that to myself? I'm supposed to discipline myself. I've always done everything I wanted to do. And then I started to think about it. It's like, oh my God, that's what it is. Even with working out, it was like, it wasn't like, okay, let me go to the gym. Like, I didn't want to go to the gym. Like, everybody's like, oh, you could be my gym partner. You could do all this. So I was like, no, I need to do this at home. I need to start here first and get comfortable with working out again, because whether we like to admit it or not, when you get past 40, when you get past 40, something happens in your body. Your bones start to creak. Cold, when the cold hits your skin, it's like your bones just go, you ever like sitting down to stand up and your bones go, I don't know. That terrifies me. That terrifies me. And it only terrifies me because it's like, oh, when people get older, they be falling. I don't want to break a hip. It's all these different things that be going on in my mind. But I realized that if I was disciplined, if I discipline in my juicing, if I'm disciplined in what I eat, if I'm disciplined in working out, if I'm disciplined, the greatest realistic expectation I realized about myself is I used to procrastinate. Not because I wasn't able to do the job, but I used to procrastinate because there is some type of adrenaline rush. Is something that happened to me. Not recently because I don't procrastinate anymore, but when I would procrastinate, it's like that crunch time. It's like I don't even need an energy drink or nothing because I knew like the last hour, the last 30 seconds, the last 10 minutes, it was like, ooh, the excitement of it. Let me get it done. And then I submit it. And then it's like, I could have did that earlier. I could have did it knowing when the deadline was. I could have did that. But then it was like, what satisfaction would come with that? And then as I started, this journey of healing and self-discovery, I realized why I had so much of an adrenaline rush. It was because I had conditioned my mind, my body. I conditioned everything um, for waiting to the last minute. Conditioned. That was a condition. That was a habit that I was so excited to break because then I started to realize if I do it ahead of time, that leaves me more time to do other things. But no, again, I didn't have any discipline. Nobody was telling me, like, okay, stop waiting to the last minute. No one was saying that to me. And I didn't know that I needed to discipline myself. I didn't know that. But on this journey of healing and self discovery, I have come to realize that discipline has been a great addition to my current life. Discipline. You ever go and have you ever go to Texas de Brazil or Fogo de Chao or Rodizio Grill or anywhere that they serve lamb chops? You ever go and be like, I know I should only have four, but you put that but right there. I know I'm full, but it's discipline. When I realize, like, I'm talking about like food and juicing and working out right now, but when you like apply discipline in your life, like if you say, listen, by June 2026, I want to have a YouTube, I want to have an intro video for my YouTube, I want to have 50 videos uploaded by June 2023, right? That's going to take discipline. It's going to take discipline. Because, I mean, you could just wake up and be like, okay, I'm just going to make videos about everything. But if you really want to grow your channel, you really want to interact with other people, you will find that thing that makes you happy. I think the greatest thing that I discovered on this journey of healing and self-discovery is the thing that makes me happy. And the thing that makes me happy is helping other people. Spending time with myself and helping other people is what makes me happy. And one of my, I'm going to keep saying this, unrealistic expectation is that people want help. People, I was like, people not going to want my help. That's something that was just like, at first it was like, you don't want to alley oop. I could toss it up there for you. It's like, no, because, we've all become so independent where it's just like perfect example. I'm bringing back, in 2019, I did a live concert series, right? And I footed the whole thing. The person I was my significant other, we pooled our money together and we did 5 concerts, booked 30 something artists, paid for the food, we paid for everything. The band paid for everything, right? And so 2023, I'm like, I want to bring it back. And I was like, but I don't want to pay for it. I don't want to pay for it. And so then I was like, if I'm not going to pay for it, who's going to pay for it? And then it was like, oh, I got to start asking people for money. Now, if you know me, it's weird for me to be like, hey, could you help me out with this? Because I'm always used to like making it work, but as I'm on this journey of healing self-discovery, I don't have to do it by myself. I'm not an island. I mean, anyways, I don't have to do it by myself because there are other people out here who will help me. And I'm like, I want the help. So I sat down. I looked at, some of my favorite like music festivals and like um, concerts or whatever. And I was like, okay, I could do a sponsorship deck. So I put a sponsorship deck together. Um, I sent it out to my accountability partner and my mentor. And I was like, um, here's my idea. This is what I want to do. And I put a sponsorship deck together, sent it to them, and they was like, oh my God, who created this? I'm like, me. And he was like, really? You should start sending this out. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I told you at the beginning, I'd be hyping myself up like I could do it. Yeah, I could do it because I know that I can do it. I know that I could do it. It just fear. It comes, and I just have to like look it in the face and be like, you are not going to fucking stop me from doing what I need to do. So I got the sponsorship deck. I got my list of sponsors that I want to send it out to. I kid y'all not. I sat right here at this computer and looked at that email, and it was all filled out and everything. And I kept looking at it, and I just kept sitting there, and I just kept looking at it, and I kept saying, I'm going to send this email. I kept telling myself that, right? And so then I text my accountability partner. I said, hey, I need to send you this. You need to be my first email that I need to send so that I can get past the fear of asking. I need to get past this. And I had to figure out, what do I need to do to get past it? Let me send it to you first. Then I text my mentor, and I text one other person that I trust and I feel that can, that keeps me lifted. So I messaged them, and I was like, after I sent out those 3 emails, I've been emailing every day. Every day since last week Monday, I've been emailing. Anybody I think about, I send them an email. I first text them, or in the conversation, was like, hey, do you mind if I send you this about my concert I got coming up? Yeah, sure. So I sent it over. So far I have 4 sponsors. 4 sponsors. One of them is taking care of all of the musical instruments in regards to the concert. So I don't know if y'all can tell that I'm excited. But I knew that I could do this, right? It was just pushing past that fear. And I said, when I walked into 2023, fear is not going to stop me from doing anything. Nothing. There's nothing. Anything that I want to do. I said I want to get out and network more because I've been in the house. Like, this is my sanctuary. Like, this right here. I said I don't want to go outside unless I'm making money outside. That was, it could have been considered an unrealistic expectation, but it's not, because when I go outside, I am making money. I'm doing things that could potentially bring me in money. Actually, sitting here has definitely been a great asset for me because I on my vision board I put 7 streams of income, and YouTube being one of them. This podcast has actually turned into a stream of income that I didn't foresee that. I just wanted to do a podcast to talk and encourage people to heal and go to therapy and be better and realize that the situations that happen to you, they don't define you. They were just situations that happened to you. I there's this filter on TikTok. I don't know if you're on TikTok, but there's this filter on TikTok, and many people are like, there should be some kind of warning on the filter or before you use the filter, because a lot of people haven't dealt with their childhood or teenage years, like what they went through, right? So I'm watching these videos, and one lady just started bawling, and her caption, she said, um, I'm looking at the 14-year-old who put her stepfather in jail for CSA. If you don't know what CSA, message me, I'll let you know. And so I was just like, oh my God, yeah, they definitely need to have a trigger warning on that, because it takes your face as it is right now and it shows you like in the childhood. And so I was thinking to myself, like, I'm so grateful for going on a journey of healing and self-discovery, because I've definitely healed a lot. I healed from things that I had no idea that I even needed to be healed from. None whatsoever. I started to think, like when I was sick, right? I'm sick. I have like staples from the top to the bottom, from the rooter to the, I got staples, right? I'm still trying to break my neck and do things for people. I'm going above and beyond. Just like, I'm not even thinking about myself. I just had a major surgery. I was not thinking about myself. I had this unrealistic expectation. Like, if I don't do it, no one else would do it. That was my expectations. And then I was like, hold on, wait a minute. You just had a major surgery. If these grown ass people can't take care of themselves, they don't need to, you don't need to do it. If they can't take care of their stuff, you don't need to do it. You are not their parent. You are not their girlfriend. You are not their wife. You are not any of those things. If they can't do it, hey, I ain't gonna say that that was like easy to for me to say. That was actually really hard because I've never said it before. Like when I first started telling people no, hey, could you do this? No. At first, that no was a little, no, I'm not gonna be able to do that. But then when I got in the rhythm of it, it was like no. Before you'd be like, hey, could you watch my kids? And you'd be like, no, and cause I gotta go. You'd be like no, and then you give them an excuse or a reason as to why you can't do it. Now I just be like no. Or my favorite, everybody who knows me know my favorite. It's a no for me. It's a no. I've learned to put myself first. And that's why I say the greatest love is loving yourself, because when you put yourself first, there will be so many things that you will not do. So many things. When you really love yourself, if your boss asks you to work overtime and you know he's not gonna pay you for that overtime, and you might really like your boss is really cool, you're gonna think about yourself. You're gonna think like, I could spend more time at home. There is a movie series that I want to catch up on. I can go hang out with my mama, my kids. You could spend that time. I could put that time into starting my own business. When you really think about it. But some of us won't think about that because we be thinking about, man, that'll give me a one up when I go to apply for this supervisor position. But you already know that they don't hire like that in your job, or the positions always go to the boss's son or cousin, or we all know that's a reality. Like, that's a reality of life. I was telling someone, I was like, I think they should I don't know if it's still streaming, but I said, I think they should like hype up the Truman Show again. I think they should. I think people should watch the Truman Show. Someone said, I was talking to people about the UFOs. I don't know if y'all saw the UFOs or y'all heard about it, but um, I was like, I was talking, and I was like, the fact that people actually think that we are the only people on this planet is hilarious to me. That's hilarious to me. And if he was like, wait, you believe in aliens? Shoo, shoo. I believe in a lot of things. I do. And I don't believe in a lot of things, but I do believe that there is another being here on this planet. I mean, think about all the organisms that we got. Like, think about when they go into the deepest part of the ocean. Y'all don't start me on. I'm not going to go on a tangent with that. That's an unrealistic expectation to think that you are the only person. I'm the only person um, that feels this way. Another unrealistic expectation that people have is that they can change people. Like, I know that I can't change you. I know that I can't do that. I do know that if I say something that can inspire, I could say something that can inspire you, encourage you, or motivate you to change. I can do that. But I can't change you. I can't make you um, stop being negative. I can't make you love yourself. I can't make you do any of those things. All I can do is suggest that you should. All I could do is encourage you to. That's all I can do. I wish like if I had to like, when I was growing up, I always used to be like, I wish I could be Jean, from X-Men, where she would, like, she had her own powers. She had her own powers, but then if she touched somebody, she can have those powers also. I always wanted to be Jean. I knew I didn't want to be Charles. You, you see where I was going with, you see where I was going with the X-Men. I knew I didn't want to be Charles because I could not deal with everyone's. That's like, people like, oh, I wish I could read people's minds. Oh, I don't. I wouldn't want that one. I definitely will wish to be Jean Grey. who also becomes a phoenix. But I would wish to be her just because I will want to like know. I always want to know like what other people experience. Like I want to know like other people's lives. Like even when I was going to school, right? I went to a predominantly white school, and people would think like, okay, you at a white school, so these kids are, they got, they uppity, they got all of this, and then I was looking at those kids like, damn, you ain't no different from me because we in the same boat. You just live out here, and I live in the hood. And it was crazy because I connected with some of those kids like that. Even when I went to college, man, this one time I was at college, right? And one of my friends was like, "What the fuck am I gonna do?" Like their parents had like gave them a bunch of money, just because. Like their parents gave them a bunch of money just because, and they sitting over there like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this. What am I gonna do? I mean, I got everything I want, and I'm just looking like, damn, I wish somebody would send me some money like that. And then you're like, you guys want to go? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But then when I think, well, when you think about it, it's like people's lives are so different, so different. Like I was telling somebody, I am so grateful. I am so grateful for growing up in a family that encouraged me to talk. I am so grateful to grow up in a family that showed love, that expressed love. And I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. I'm just saying this to like say, while your situation that you grew up in probably wasn't the greatest, someone's someone outside of you family situation wasn't great. I'm grateful that I had people to ask me how my day went, what was going on with me, how was I feeling, what was I thinking, what do I want to be when I grow up. I was asking my friends like, no one has ever asked you what your hopes, goals, and aspiration was, and they was like, no, I don't even know what that means. Like I don't, and I'm looking like I was shocked. Like I'm still shocked to even talk about it. Like nobody ever asked you what did you want to be when you grew up. And it makes so much sense for me. It's like I just had this idea. Like I thought that people that had two parents in the household that come from, that was who parents are married, I thought their life was just amazing. I kid y'all not. It was an unrealistic expectation. I thought their life was amazing. I thought like, why would y'all have any problems? Because y'all got two parents. And then I started talking to people who had two parents in the household, and I was just like, holy shit, y'all just like me. But nobody will ever know that y'all just like me because y'all, people definitely be painting on pictures. They be definitely be putting on for other people. Me, what you see is what you get. I basically told YouTube my entire life, not just YouTube. I told everybody my entire life, and that's because I want to be transparent. I want you to know, like, hey, I'm not out here. I'm not out here saying I'm the greatest person or I'm the most positive person because there's probably somebody more positive than me. But what I am saying is this: if I know, I'm going to tell you. If I don't know, give me a couple of days. I'll figure out. I'm willing to. I recognize humanity. That's what I recognize. So like when I see other people, the first thing is like, oh no, he just come from a bad home, or she. No, I don't think about that. I wonder, like my mind is like, what was their day like? You ever go, if you eat fast food, you ever go to like a restaurant, or you even go to a store and you at the cash register, and the person in front of you is like cussing out the cashier, and you just sitting there and you just looking like, for me, I'm sitting there looking like, what kind of day did they have? Like I get we all be having really shitty days, but I'm never going to take out my shitty day on you. Like parents be having shitty days at work, and then they come home and like start yelling at their kids and taking it out on their kids. Them kids ain't had nothing to do with your day. You and your partner have a bad, situation. Now you taking it out on get them kids that had nothing to do with your day. Your significant other didn't have nothing to do with your day. That's why I be feeling like if a lot of us go to therapy, if a lot of us start healing, and a lot of us start having conversations about how we feel and applying words to our emotions, that's this would probably be considered an unrealistic expectation, but I really feel like if more people talked about the shit that they went through in life, especially, especially parents. If parents talked about the shit that they went through and they be honest with their children, it'll definitely curve a lot of things that are happening in life right now. It definitely will. If more parents spent time rather than money, I know it's like, yeah, but I give my kids money, and I just be thinking like, those kids don't give a fuck about your money. They care about you being there, your love, your support, your time. That's what they care about. But sometimes we as adults, we don't be thinking about that. We think they gonna be good with whatever we give. You gonna take whatever I give you, granted. But at the same time, they would rather just have you there. If you were growing up and you was like you had plays or basketball games, football games, or whatever you did, you just wanted somebody to be there. You wanted to be able to look up in the stands. You wanted to be look out there. You singing at the program. You wanted to be able to look out there. Even you probably can't really see, but you just wanted to know that they were there. And it made you feel good. It made you feel confident. It made you feel like, yeah, I got a support system. I was just staring with somebody. I was like, if we think about how many adults are walking around here broken from the families they grew up in, broken from situations that happened to them in their childhood, just broken from relationships, broken from life, just completely broken. And then when you become an adult, when you become older and an adult, and you probably like a teenager if you're watching this and you're experienced, but when you become an adult, you start to have feelings of guilt and shame and embarrassment because it's like I had to do that to survive, or whatever the situation is. And then it's like, let me keep this part of me like hidden. And so you don't do things in life because it's like, I don't want people to know, like people will find out. And then I said to myself, I was in there. I'm not just saying you, I was in there too. And I thought to myself, I need to say these things out loud. And YouTube, this podcast just happened to be where I said it, but I said I need to say these things out loud because the more that I hold it in, the more that I'm afraid of somebody finding it out, somebody's going to find it out. And then when they find it out, you know how people be knowing your business, or they find out something about you and they wait to a good time. It seemed like the time be ordained from heaven, like the exact time. Like they couldn't have picked a better time. It always happened that way. And then when the shoe drops, it just be like, damn, and it'd be so devastating for me. It's just like, if I tell you about me, if I tell you about everything that has to do with me, if I've cleansed myself, if I heal, forgive, and let go, there's nothing that you can say. People can find out whatever they want to find out about me and try to say, hey, look what I know. It's not going to bother me because that's a part of me that is healed. That is a part of me that I am no longer hiding. It's out in the open. And then as I'm journeying down this road, I've heard a lot of people say that hurt people, right? So here's my unrealistic expectation. My unrealistic expectation is that if hurt people take the time to sit down and heal, we wouldn't have to keep saying hurt people, hurt people. There would be no hurt people to hurt other people. It's bonkers to me for people to know that they are hurting and still operating in hurt. I was telling someone, like, I knew that I was hurt. I knew that I felt disappointment. I knew that I felt all of those things, and I tried to just like work through it because that's what I'm used to doing. Like, if you've been made a lot of promises in your life or told people it's going to take you here, you used to hurt. You used to disappointment. You used to people letting you down. You used to that. So you just pick it up and move. That's what you do. You pick it up and move. I was so used to picking up and moving that I was just moving and grooving like, yeah, let me get through. And then I said, no, Chelle, we not doing this. We not doing this. So I sat down And I acknowledged the hurt. I acknowledged the disappointment. I applied words to my emotions. And when I tell you guys, you know what? I did a I did a couple of weeks ago, I did a podcast and I asked, who are you without your traumas? Like if some people actually healed from their traumas, they feel like they wouldn't be as popular. They wouldn't be like people wouldn't care. And it's people out here real life feel like that. Like people only like me because of this. And for me it's like I don't want people to like me because I spoke out about being sexually abused. I don't want people to like me just because I want people to look at me and see me. That's what I want. I don't want you to like me because, yeah, I overcame that, but I don't. I had a really bad breakup over social media. I don't want you to like me because of that, because you feel bad for me. I don't want you to feel bad for me. I want you to feel happy for me. I want you to look at me and be like, damn, she's such an inspiration to me. That's what I want to be. Inspiration. I want to be motivation. I want to be a great support system. That's what I want to be. And when I realized about myself, it was like, I'm not carrying around that burden no more. You ever you ever have something fucked up happen to you, and then you watch the person that did the fucked up shit to you and they look like they is living their best life? Oh, they look like oh, they look like they living their best life. You ever saw it? You ever saw somebody who owed you money and then you see them out and they partying, they buying bottles, they buying new clothes, they buying all that, and they still owe you money? You ever look at them and be like, damn, they look so happy? Oh, they look like they happy. They just living their life, and you sitting over there like, they owe me money. They did this to me. They made me feel. You ever had those moments? I don't want that in 2023. I don't want to survive a global fucking pandemic, a level one trauma surgery, a cancer scare, and still be stuck in fear. I don't want to do that in 2023. I don't have any more unrealistic expectations. Everything that I say I'm going to do, I am a woman of my word, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this concert series, and I'm telling y'all, I was shaking. I was literally shaking before I sent the emails out, even to my mentor and my accountability partner. I was shaking because that's something I've never done. I'm out here doing things that I knew that I could do, but I've never done them before. I literally start. There's a new platform. Um, I'll probably do a video about it. Maybe not. I don't know. But there's a new platform, and it's called Kick, right? And the payout is pretty good. And I just found out about it Friday. Actually, I found out about it Thursday night, and by Friday evening, I was an affiliate over there. And so I'm telling, when I said to myself, I got it on my board right here, 7 streams of income. And I don't want to leave from right here in this space of my house, of course. I don't want to leave unless I'm making money. Everything that I do, I want to make money. And not money just so I can be like, yeah, I'm rich. I want to make money because I do want to help other small businesses. I do want to take my mother on a cruise. It's so many things I want to do. Like, there's so many things I want to do. I want to do better. I want to offer better content. I want to do so many things I want to do. There's so many things I want to do. I'm telling you, when you heal of hurts, when you heal, like you don't just be like, okay, well that happened to me. Let me just, yeah, I'm gonna forgive, but I won't forget. And I'm not telling you to forget, but what I'm telling you is this, right? When you actually go into the back of your head, and you probably like, yeah, when you go into the back of your head, that room you got back there for every disappointment, every heartache, every time somebody disrespected you, we got a room back there, and we keep memory of everything. We remember everything. Somebody stepped on your Jordans when you was like 16, and you knew they did it on purpose. So you, every time you see them, you that's that person that stepped on my Jordans. You know I was gonna say the other word, but that's that person that stepped on my Jordans. Go into that room in the back of your head and start and just open the door and let all that shit fall out, and then just pick it up one at a time. Pick up the stuff that's falling out one at a time and deal with it one at a time. I'm not going to tell you to open the door and deal with everything all at one time. No, you're going to deal with it one at a time. When I began to think about um, when I was like, why do I fear rejection? Why do I fear? Why is that a fear of mine? And I thought I was able to go back to the beginning of my life where it was like, I felt rejection from my parents, and I knew that I was going to do whatever it takes to get their approval. I was going to do whatever it takes for no one to have any ill feelings towards me. I was going to do whatever it took. If that meant give of myself, if that meant give my money, if that meant if you needed to use my truck, whatever it was. I didn't have a truck at the time. I actually had a car, a Ford Tempo. Anyways, but if whatever I could do to make you happy, that's what I was doing. Go on a journey of healing, self discovery, go through um therapy, you people pleasing. I'm what? Why am I a people pleaser? Because I want people to like me. I felt that my parents didn't like me, so I don't want to have that feeling ever. I don't want to have that feeling ever. I don't. Now, as a 42-year-old grown ass woman, I don't care if you don't like me, and it's a journey. I just told you, like, I was definitely caring, but now it's like, I don't care. Those things that I cared about at 18 and 42, I for sure don't give a fuck about. Don't care. And I know, like, they be telling us, like, like when you're in your 20s, you gotta figure out your life or whatever. When by 30, you should have all this stuff. I was just like, shit. Nobody told me about 30s and 40s because the attitude I have right now, I'm not gonna say I don't have unrealistic expectations because I still have some, and people might consider them to be unrealistic, but I really feel like this concert series is going. I'm gonna tell y'all about it. I'm gonna invite y'all to it. I'm gonna draw y'all in more, but it's definitely gonna happen, and I'm gonna get way more sponsorship. When I got the sponsorship for the instruments, I already knew I was doing something. When I got a music company to sponsor the instruments and all of it, I knew I was on to something. I knew. I said it myself, and I'm sitting over here not wanting to ask people for things. You ever had that happen to you? You ever knew that you could do something, or you ever watch a television show and you like see somebody do something that you always wanted to do? You knew, and you be like, "Oh, I could do that better." You ever had that experience? I think 2023, I think we should just throw caution to the wind, throw fear to the wind, and just do whatever the fuck we want to do. That's what I think we should do for 2023. Chelle, what you think? I think you should do whatever you've been wanting to do, just do it. Like Nike say, just do it. If you fail, so the fuck what? Take what worked, what didn't work, and try it again. I think we got to the point where I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to fail. I don't want to start over. We got all these different things. I'm telling you, you probably say, oh, I don't want to do this over again. But the reality of it is you will have the opportunity to do it again. You have the opportunity to change. You have the opportunity to grow. Parents, if you got more than one kid, you probably was like, yeah, I'm never having another kid. And then by the third one, you like, well, they here now. I love them. I love each and every one of them. I bet you probably watching this right now, you probably looking at your kids like, I wouldn't trade them for the world because they change you. I really feel like I don't have any kids, but I really feel like my nieces and nephews changed me. They definitely taught me patience. They definitely taught me love. I look at them and I just want to protect them. I do. I want to protect them on all levels. Somebody was like, why do you your nieces and nephews just be talking to you about any and everything, and they don't, they just like cartoon Spider-Man, um Bebe Finn. I don't even know what that is, but my niece knows, so we be watching that, and they just be wanting to talk to me about everything, and I sit and listen. Why do I sit and listen? Because if I don't listen, who's gonna listen? Who's gonna listen? I will go to the games, the concerts. I will go to all of that because if I don't go, my nieces and nephews won't be like, my auntie never showed up. She was never there. No, I'm going to be there. And if I can't go, I'm going to make sure I see them before they go and see them after. You remember when you were growing up, you was like, man, I wish somebody would come to my events. I wish somebody would do something for me. I wish. Right now in my life, I'm fulfilling those wishes with my nieces and nephews. I'm that auntie that's gonna text them, call them, FaceTime them. My nephew become my nephew come over. He say, "I know I just came over so you could see me. That's all. I just want to see them, make sure they okay." I told somebody, I said, it's nothing like seeing somebody who's like, well, you was smiling. I thought you were okay when you know those people are hurting. We be knowing people are hurting. We know people are hurting. You like, how do we know people hurting? You know. You know, parents be knowing when their kids be hurting or something different happen to them when they go from being a outgoing, fun loving kid to just want to stay in the room all the time and not doing you not hanging out, not doing the things they used to do. Something is going on. We know. We be at work, our coworker, something be going on, and we don't. And you ever had that moment where it's like somebody dropping your spirit? I'm trying to explain. Somebody dropping your spirit, they drop on your mind and they drop in your heart, and you just be like, I should call them, right? You ever had one of those moments? Call them, text them, pull up on them, whatever, because we never know. But we ignore that because we be thinking like, oh, I got other stuff to do. When at that very moment, that person probably need you. They probably need you at that moment. I can tell you it's been countless numbers of times where somebody's dropping my heart and my spirit, and I don't give a fuck what time it is. I'm gonna send them a message. I'm gonna send them a message, and not just any message. I got this video thing, so I'll be video messaging them and say, hey, I don't know why. I don't know why. We don't be knowing why, but I felt compelled to call you or and say that I love you and I appreciate you and whatever else I feel compelled to send. And then every time it's a message that was timely. One time I got timely and then it was a heart. Because we never know. We all are going through this thing called life. Some of us some of us by ourselves. And but we all going through this thing called life, and there's so many different expectations placed upon us. There's so many expectations just in life, period. And if we don't have an outlet to talk, if we don't have an outlet of support, of love, motivation, inspiration, encouragement, then we feel alone. And when we feel alone, we don't want to share how we feeling or what we thinking with other people. And then we become an island. And then when you become an island, it get real dark. But there's so much light in this world. And there are people like me who do love you. Somebody said, why you be telling people that you love them? Because I do love you. You don't know them people? I love you. I love you for watching this here podcast. I love you for being here. I love you for showing support. I love you for taking the time out of your day to come and hang out with me. I love you for that. I appreciate you. If no one told you today, I love you and I appreciate you. I am proud of you. I'm proud of you for sticking around for an hour and 18 minutes. I am proud of you and I love you. I really feel like if people heard that, like there was a time here where people were like going to work and they weren't coming back home. People were going to school and they weren't coming back home. And then you ever have that feeling like I think for me what happened to me when 9/11 happened, and I like had this thing where I'm gonna tell everybody that I love them. When I'm talking to them on the phone or in their presence, I make sure I tell them as I'm leaving, I love them. You ever like think about like the last conversation you have with somebody and just be like, damn, I didn't get to say I love them. I be telling everybody. I tell y'all. I tell every platform I be on. I tell everybody I be talking to. I real life be loving people, and I really want people to hear that. I love you. 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 I believe in you. I feel like if we say that more, I really feel like if we say that more, if we tell people that it's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay to stay there. It's okay to be sad, but it's not okay to wallow in sadness. Figure out what makes you sad, acknowledge the sadness, what made you sad, understand it, and figure out your next course of action from there. It's okay to be angry. Figure out what made you angry. Why did it get to the point where you have anger? Talk about it. Talk out what's going on with you. Talk about it. I remember back in the days they used to make fun of people that talk to themselves, and I was just looking like, shh. I be talking to myself also. I have those conversations with myself. You know, you be wanting other people to be like, girl, what's wrong with you? Mm-mm. I look at myself and be like, girl, what is wrong with you? Why is you do that? You why? You ever ask yourself why? I feel like if more people ask themselves why, they definitely wouldn't be in situations that they in. Why? Why are you with this person? I asked somebody, I said, why are you friends? Why is that person your friend? Why do you call that person your best friend? You ever took a moment to think about why you call people your best friend? Like, think about it for real. Like, is it because y'all went through hardships growing up? Is it because they gave you money? Is it because they you was their shoulder to cry on when shit got tough? Like, why are y'all real friends? Y'all have a real love for each other? Like, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say this. Look at the person that you are sitting next to, or laying with, or you are in a relationship or married to. Why are you with them? Chelle, you can't ask some people to question that. Yes, I can. Somebody should have asked you. Somebody should ask you. You in a relationship and you know you're not happy. You know you're not happy. You know you're not happy. You gonna survive a global fucking pandemic and be unhappy. And this is where the unrealistic expectation come in because you thinking that they're going to change. You probably been in a relationship with them for 2, 3, 5, 7, 8 years and still holding out hope that they would change. The reality of it is if they wanted to change, they would have changed already. I think both of y'all have just gotten comfortable. You're comfortable. Long as he come home to me, long as, she good, comfortable. 2023, I'm striving to be so uncomfortable where I'm just gonna be great. I'm already in an uncomfortable place by asking for help, assistance, sponsorship, underwriting, but it's been great for me. And I would have never knew what was on the other side if I never crossed over to the other side. You know, they be like, the grass is always greener on the other side. Sometimes it is. Sometimes you have to venture on over there to see. Not while you're in a relationship, though. Don't do it. I'm not telling you to cheat. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not telling you to step out of nothing. What I am saying is if you know that you're not happy in that relationship, in that job, in that career, in that major, because people don't be happy in their majors. They just be going because they thinking about the money that they're going to get after they get out of college, but you got to make it through college in order to get to the money. I would suggest you do what you love. Every day when you wake up, do what you love. Do what's in your heart. Long as it's not harming anybody else, but do what's in your heart. If you want to wake up and just go feed the homeless, or you want to go and take care, or go to the I don't know if you can go to the but like help other people, less fortunate people. That's what I'm saying. If you want to do that, here's my advice. Don't take a camera with you. I know it's so tempting to do. I know we see it all the time. But for me, this is just my opinion, right? I don't think like they, I don't think, I don't think we be thinking when we just be having a camera all up in people's faces, right? I know a lot of time we feel like, oh, I'm doing you a great service and you should be happy that I'm actually doing this. But in reality, they're still human beings. People people who are outside Some of them don't want to be outside. Some of them have mental illness and they don't, that's undiagnosed. And some of them have diagnosed mental illness that they need help with. Think about that before you put a camera in somebody's face. And I do things for people all the time, but I'm not want to be like, oh yeah, I did this for you. But no, it's like I would be mortified. I'm gonna say that I would be mortified if like I was doing something and somebody had a camera and was like, "Oh, well, how do you?" No, no. I have this thing where I just like put myself in other people's shoes. I don't. It's not like I try to do it. I think it's just a part of me. That's just me. Like I think about how would I feel. How would I feel if I was somebody standing outside with a sign and I'm just trying to get some food. I'm just trying to get some money. First thing people be like, oh, they're going to smoke and drink. They're going to do all of that. I don't give a fuck what you do with it. I really don't. Because we don't be saying that when we pay our landlords and give our boyfriends, baby daddies, sisters, cousins. We don't be saying none of that. But when we see people in less fortunate situations, we automatically know what they're going to do with it. We don't. Because there was people out there. Y'all ever watch, what is his name? John Kahuna's. It's a Dateline thing where they was catching the people who was standing out there with the cups, and they was catching them. And then people, it was one lady, she was rich, and she was just standing out there with a cup, panhandling. And it was like, why do you do this? And it was just something that she just got into. I don't think that's something I would get into because I was there before and no. But it was just something she did. A lot of those people, I'm pretty sure they don't want a camera in their face. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want a camera in your face. But we got to get rid of the unrealistic expectations. I remember like people be like, you know what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm I can't read minds. I'm not a mind reader. That's why I be telling people to use your words. Because if you don't use your words, nobody will ever know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Nobody won't know because we're not mind readers. You comparing, well, you knew? No, no, no. I don't know. You got to tell me. People be getting mad at me because I don't know. You got to tell me. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. You got to tell me. Break it down for me. Help me to realize it. Because if you don't, I'm not going to be assuming. Mm-mm. I'd rather you talk to me and tell me about it. I was thinking about a situation that happened a couple of years ago. And I kept replaying the situation in my mind. And I was like, why is. And then it dawned on me like something else happened that I was not aware of. And that's why that took place. I wasn't aware of what was going on. I just happened to be an innocent bystander. I was literally an innocent bystander, and some other stuff had took place, and I was just caught in the crossfire of it. Wasn't trying to be. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I was in the right place at the wrong time, and I was just thinking about it like, man, that could have been something totally crazy, but I have the ability to communicate. So I was like, hey, this ain't got nothing to do with me. I just came for the food. I got really good on this journey of healing and self discovery. I keep saying journey of healing, self discovery, unrealistic expectations, just because the more you say them, the more they stick to your memory. But on this journey of healing, self discovery, I realized that it is important to use your words. Apply emotions. Apply words to your emotions, because people won't know. People don't know. And if you feel like this, why in the beginning I said I don't tolerate disrespect, because people do a lot of disrespectful shit, and some people don't know that is disrespectful. Maybe because they grew up in a family where that's all they did was disrespect each other. They don't know. It's normal to them. No, that's disrespectful. And then sometimes when you tell people shit is disrespectful, sometimes they'll be like, okay, I respect you enough not to. Sometimes. Sometimes they'll be like, well, this is me and you can't change me. When in reality, it's not us. We just become products of our environment. And that's what they say, products of our environment. Yeah, but we gotta let go of the unrealistic expectations. That's all I got for this evening, y'all. I was trying to keep it down to an hour and 30 minutes. But y'all know me, I like to talk. Hi, Fancy. Thanks for coming. We're just talking about getting rid of unrealistic expectations, especially in 2023. Thinking that we can change people, um, thinking that people can read our minds, thinking negatively about ourselves. I'm telling y'all, every night at 9 o'clock, I get so stuffy. I don't even know what is going on, but I get my nose, everything gets so stuffed up. That's all we were talking about. Unrealistic expectations. Feeling like you're going to be rich and you're not even doing anything to become rich. Unrealistic expectations. Thinking that everybody owe you. Unrealistic expectation. Thinking about you, thinking that you are not, thinking that you are not worthy of love. That's an unrealistic expectation. Expecting people to hate you. Unrealistic expectation. Expecting people to be more concerned with your past and where you come from rather than just hearing you for who you are. Unrealistic expectation. Thinking that you will never be successful because of where you come from. Unrealistic expectations. We have so many of them. There's like tons of them. I'm never going to get married. Why would anybody marry me? I can change him. I can change her. When in reality, we can't change anybody. We want to. It sounds good. It definitely sounds good. Oh, it definitely sounds good. We be thinking, oh, just because I know so and so, I'm going to get the job. Unrealistic expectations. People going to agree with me because I say or I speak loudly about what I'm saying. No. No. Having a lot of money will make me happy. Unrealistic because, again, happiness comes from here. Happiness comes from here. If you are not happy before you get that money, whew, because then you got to think about it, right? You're going to be looking at people. You probably won't be looking at people. Um, you probably won't be looking at people because you be like, yeah, I'm popular now. Like people, you don't like people gonna only want to hang out with you because you got the money. People gonna only want to kick it with you because now you footing the bill for everything. Cause you know when you get money, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna foot the bill. You're gonna buy cars. You're gonna buy houses. We going to Vegas. Everybody, come on. We going to Vegas. You're gonna be the cash cow. That's what you're gonna be. The cash cow. That's what you're gonna be. The cash cow. That's sad to say, but that's sad to say. I'm gonna leave you with four things that could help you adjust or get rid of your unrealistic expectations. One, remember the only person that you can control is yourself. Only you. And that takes a lot of discipline. That takes a lot of discipline. And a lot of times we are not disciplined enough to even ask ourselves the questions of how or why, what, well, I'm stuttering. What can I do to change my life? We're not disciplined to ask ourselves that. Because if you think about it, what could you do to change your life? You could be on time. You could love yourself. You could stop blaming other people. You could take accountability for your action. You could be responsible for the shit you say. There's so many different things, right? Number two, know your limits. Know what you will and will not take, what you will and what you can and cannot do. Know your limits. And when dealing with other people, share your expectations. If you expect for somebody you in a relationship with to tell you the truth and not cheat, share that. Don't just be like, oh, we in a relationship together and I thought that's something you knew. Maybe they needed to hear you say that. Maybe they need to hear you say that you want them to spend weekends with you, or you want them to love on you in the morning. We don't read. We're not mind readers. Some people are. I mean, that's, but the average person isn't a mind reader. And number four, be flexible in the things that you are looking out of life. Be flexible. Can't say you want to be a millionaire, but don't even have millionaire thoughts. I'm gonna be a millionaire. How you gonna be a millionaire? Money just gonna rain from the sky? The forecast say money is gonna rain. It's gonna rain money. Money is that's what it is. Everybody gonna be outside, and then because people don't have enough, they're gonna be trying to get you for your money. That's what I'm saying. Be realistic. Be realistic. For again, you cannot control anyone other than yourself. Remember that. Can't can't control nothing else but you. Number two, know your limits of what you can and cannot do. Number three, share your expectations. Use your words. Use your words. We can't read minds. And number four, keep an open mind. Be flexible. Be flexible in your thought processes. Be flexible in the things that you expect of yourself. Don't put too much on yourself. I know I'm focusing on yourself, because that's what we need to do. We need to be more, um, my brother call it, we need to have self-preservation. We need to think about us, especially if you're a parent. If you're not together as a whole, you can't help your children to be together. If you're not happy, you can't. Your kids won't be happy because you're not happy. You could try. You can buy them everything in the world, but I guarantee you, when those kids get older, or when the people are older, and they look back and it's like, I would rather have just your love and affection than all the shit you bought me. Like, you ever buy kids toys on Christmas Day and then they only play with the box and the wrapping? Anyways, that's enough. That's all I got. That's all I got. Thank you all for being here with me. Remember that it is important for you to use your words. That is the only way that anyone will ever know what you are feeling and what you are thinking. I will never let a live video, vlog, short, podcast, or anything that I present to you go out without me telling you to love yourself. That includes your faults, your fears, and your failures. Know yourself. Trust Trust yourself, because you will never lead yourself wrong. That's that small voice, large voice, that feeling you get in the pit of your stomach, those goosebumps, whatever it is. You know whatever it is that speaks to you. Trust that, because you will never lead yourself wrong. And most importantly of all, just be yourself. Why? Because you need you. I need you. This great big old world needs you to be exactly who you were created to be. Anybody that cannot love, respect, or appreciate you for being authentically you does not deserve to be in your space. Set that boundary, stand 10 toes down on it. If you haven't already, make sure that you get your toiletries, non-perishable food items, water, disinfectants, set some cash money to the side. And if you are engaged in adult activities, make sure you wrap that shit up, because although we are in the third year of a global fucking pandemic, STDs are still on the rise. That's all I got. I hope that you had a wonderful time with this nurturing conversation. If you come back, thank you for watching it all the way through. Let me know how far you get into it. Let me know. I'm got other content that I'm going to be bringing you guys. Again, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here with me. Until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Peace.